Hey guys, in this video, I want to share 6 money lessons I wish I knew in my 20s. Now, if you're not in your 20s, don't worry about it because the money lessons I'll talk about can apply to anyone at any age and at any income level. And I know this because I've worked with hundreds of people over the last 15 years as a financial planner, and I've seen folks from all walks of life make the same money mistakes over and over again. So my goal is by the end of this video, you'll have more confidence to make better money decisions going forward and actually build real wealth. So let's start with the first one, which is compounding really does work. Now, the hardest part about doing this is staying disciplined long enough and giving it the time needed until you actually start seeing results. I'm one of those who completely messed this up when I was in college. It was around 2008. And for those of you that don't know, this was during what they called the financial crisis, when the market dropped 57%, which in reality was the perfect time to invest, right? Because with the market being down, everything was technically on sale and super cheap to get in. With the idea being when the market comes back, that's when you get all the growth. But for me, I was just a junior in college. I wasn't investing. I did have a job. I was working, but spending all my money on stupid stuff instead of doing the basics. Opening a brokerage account and putting in $50 or $100, any amount of money per month into a growth ETF or mutual fund. But I didn't. If I did, how much do you think I'd have? Let's do the math. If I was contributing $100 a month into a growth fund, making, let's just say 10% for 19 years, assuming I started at 20 years old, I'd have close to $65,000. Not a bad deal for only putting $100 a month into an account, right? See, what the key with compounding is that it takes time. When you start sooner than later, you give your money more time to compound and grow. And the more money you consistently put in, it's kind of like pouring gasoline on the fire, and the faster the pot will grow. So if you're working, make sure you're contributing to a 401k if you have access to one. Contribute at least up to the company match. If you're not contributing up to the company match, you are literally leaving free money on the table. So find a way. First find out how much is your match and force yourself to put that much in. And don't assume you have this set up either, guys. I've met with people who thought they had everything good to go when they initially started their job, when it actually wasn't. They were putting money into their 401k, but it wasn't being invested. Can you imagine? And they ended up missing out on years of growth. So double check. Many companies still don't automatically enroll you into a plan when you come on board. And if you own a business, or maybe if you're self-employed, you can set this up. You can set up your own retirement plan for yourself and also contribute. All right, money lesson number 2, compounding interest can also work against you with high interest debt. So let me grab my debt calculator. I'll hop over to my Next Level Dad community and we'll grab this template. Okay, so let's pretend we had $6,000 on a credit card with 28% interest and my minimum monthly payment was $150. Okay, so let's focus on this one column first. If you only made the minimum monthly payment of $150, it would take you almost 10 years to pay this off. And over the course of time, you'd pay almost double the balance with $11,700 of interest going straight to the credit card companies. That's insane, right? Now, look what happens if we pay an extra $100, making it $250 total. We save $8,700 in interest and pay off the balance 7 years earlier. So an extra $100 a month can go a really long way. Now, let's pretend you have a mortgage. Let's just say that's $250,000 with a 6.5% interest rate and minimum monthly payment at $1,500. Okay, it would take us 36 years to pay this loan off, and we'd pay almost $400,000 in interest. Pretty crazy when you look at the numbers, right? So much of these loans are going straight to the credit card companies. And listen, guys, I have a house, I have a mortgage myself, I'm married with 2 kiddos, and we need a roof over our head, right? So I get it. But 2 key points I want to leave you with before moving on. On a basic level, don't buy more than you can afford. Easy, right? Before making these big purchases, whether it's a car or a house or maybe a home renovation, get an idea of what your cash flow is like. Meaning, understand the numbers of what's coming into your bank accounts and what's going out of your bank accounts. With buying a house or a second property, don't forget to forecast the extra costs that come with home ownership, because if these aren't factored in, it can quickly drain your savings and force you to use credit cards. Second, if your cash flow allows it, pay extra if you can. Even if it's just an extra 50 or $100 a month, it can still make a huge difference. And we've already seen that, how it can make a big impact over the long term. So if you can swing it, do it. Number 3, money and investing are emotional. Now, if you haven't experienced watching the account balance of your investing account drop 20 or 30%, this may be difficult to relate to. Many people honestly don't truly understand this concept until there are large, sudden drops in the market that are unexpected and you see your account in the red. The next day, it's down again, and the next day, still in the red. For inexperienced investors, this can lead you to make unintentional but really bad decisions with your money. And I remember this back when COVID hit. I'm a certified financial planner and I have a business managing clients' money. And I remember this super quick drop in the market. If we look right here at this point on the chart, and at this time, clients were calling me, insisting that we needed to do something. And some wanted to sell and get out because they couldn't take seeing their investment account go down anymore. Now, thankfully, we didn't, because most of the money they didn't need to use right now, right? This was money that was meant for the long term. But between the news and all the fear that was being spread, people had this itch and felt this urgency that they needed to do something. But in most cases, there wasn't. There was no need to do anything. Now, for a couple clients, we actually added money when the dip in the market took place because they knew the money they were investing was for 10, 15 years from now. And they saw the market crash and they saw an opportunity and were able to buy in at really low prices. And look what happened. It came back even stronger. Now, this isn't always guaranteed, of course, to happen this fast, but I think it did because there was a lot of people, at least that I knew, who were holding on to a ton of cash. They were keeping a lot of money on the sidelines, waiting for an opportunity to get back in and put it to work. And when this happened, so many people and so many big institutions jumped on the opportunity, hence bouncing the market back up. But the point I'm trying to make is know the game you are playing and what the money you're investing is for. Is it for a house you're planning on buying within the next couple years? Maybe don't throw the whole thing in the stock market then. Is it for your kids' college education, your retirement? Those goals require a longer time horizon to invest, which means you could potentially take more risk. So start with the goal and back into your investment strategy and how much risk you are willing to take. Money lesson number 4, invest in yourself. I believe investing in yourself, whether it's improving your skills, health, your career, is where you can get the best return on investment. I've spent at least $100,000 on myself over the last decade working to improve my skills, my health, and my career between paying for my certified financial planner designation, maintaining that education with continuing education credits, and buying tons of courses on business and marketing. No matter what industry you work in, there are a ton of ways to invest in yourself. But unfortunately, I didn't start doing this until my late 20s or early 30s. I can't imagine if I started doing this earlier, how much further along I'd be in my career and my life. Number 5, the best way to build wealth is to focus on increasing your income. Now, if you have a job and you're saving and investing, that's great. Keep doing that too, but recognize saving and investing is limited to how much you make. If you increase your income, you can then save and invest more. Now, how do we do this? We need to improve our skills. And the easiest way to start doing this is to take a look at your industry and ask yourself, are there certifications, are there licenses, designations, or special trainings you can get that will allow you to acquire new skills to which you can then add more value at your current job or become a more attractive candidate for a higher paying job? Because here's how this all works, guys. The more skilled you are, the greater value you can provide to the marketplace, which means you can charge more or negotiate a higher salary. I did this with my certified financial planner designation because it allowed me to gain the skills in helping people with more complicated issues with their finances. If you solve bigger problems, you can charge more money. Increase your skills to increase your income. And finally, money lesson number 6 is true wealth is more than just about money. I've helped hundreds of families over the years with their finances, and one thing that I've found to be true is money is just a tool. It can provide security, allow you to have cool experiences with your family, give you control and access, but it's not guaranteed to bring you happiness. In fact, more money often brings along more problems, especially if you're not prepared for them. One of the biggest ones I've seen in helping people is lifestyle creep, which just basically means the more money you make, the more expensive your lifestyle becomes. And before you know it, even though you're making $300,000 a year, you're living paycheck to paycheck just to keep up with your lifestyle. So it all comes down to balance, right? And understanding your current financial position, knowing how much money is coming in the door and how much money is going out the door. If you don't have clarity on your cash flow, it's hard to make good money decisions going forward. So to help you get started and take control over your finances, I'd encourage you to watch this video right here. Click here to watch, and I'll see you over there.